Hi and welcome back to my channel. Sorry I've been away for a few weeks. I've been otherwise occupied. I've just had a robotic assisted laparoscopic radical prostatectomy, which is basically keyhole surgery to remove my prostate, which is not pleasant. I'm now on the mend. I've had everything taken out that needs to be taken out, and now I can concentrate on getting better. I'm not allowed to drive the car until I can do an emergency stop, which should be around 3 weeks' time from now. So there's been quite a lot going on in the last few weeks. There has been a comfort system update to the software of the car, which means that the temperature gauge which I installed I'll remove because I much prefer not having it there at all. But anyway, so that will be taken out, because on the infotainment system there will be an external temperature gauge at the top on the right hand side beside the clock, which is fantastic. I also understand that there is a warning built in, so that when the temperature, I'm assuming when the temperature gets cold, probably around 3 or 4 degrees C, there will be a warning of ice. But of course it's too warm at this time of year to see that coming into effect, so we'll have to wait until the weather gets colder before we see that. MG have put the range left on the central display between the two clocks, right in front of you. So you still get, from what I can tell, the big range figure if you want to select that screen. But if you don't want to select that screen, it's permanently displayed on the left hand side at the bottom where the clock used to be. So now we only have one instance of the clock in the car, which is on the infotainment system and not duplicated on the central cluster, which is again a good improvement. Another massive improvement is the bongs. It sounds like the bong is now a dum, which is much more pleasant and won't wake the grandchildren up, or my wife if she's sleeping, or me if I'm sleeping, not at the wheel of course. I also understand that there aren't quite so many bongs when you're changing lane, but I will test that out when I get my car updated at the end of the month. So end of the month being June 2020. There have been a few other bits and pieces that have been updated. For instance, the startup volume of the audio system is left at where you last left it, which is fantastic news, because I don't like listening to the radio. Having it start up where I left it would be absolutely perfect. And then when you do want to use it, you can have it set up how you want it without the presets that I've had to use in the past. So that's again is brilliant. And there is also a faster startup sequence, and there is no more bongs on startup, I understand. So all of that makes for a big improvement. I will use my local dealer, which is Horsham Car Centre down in Horsham, and they're charging me £80 plus VAT for the second generation comfort operation update. It's not a warranty repair because it doesn't fix anything that was broken. Yeah, really? Triple horn going off when you shut the door with the key in the car at 11 o'clock at night? That was illegal, but hey, anyway, I'm going to have that done at the end of June, so I'm looking forward to that. At the moment, as I'm not really driving the car, the bongs and all that stuff doesn't really affect me, and we're still in temporary lockdown, and it is easing, so my wife will be driving us out and about a bit, but until I can find places where I can use public conveniences, we will be staying at home. But I hope to be back at work at the end of the month, so hopefully my body will be working by then. The other thing that I'm having done with the car is the suspension. I talked about it before. I had Bilstein dampers fitted all round by the engineers who designed the chassis for the MG, but they then were made redundant before all their recommendations were made, and so the suspension was finished in China. It's not really taut enough for English roads. The back end will step out if you're going round a corner a bit quickly and you hit a bump, which is not good because the suspension travel just gets used up completely, and that's just with nobody else in the car, just you on your own. So the suspension at the back has been drastically improved. The front has been also improved and stiffened up, but it's a little bit too much and it's just a little bit too harsh on town roads. So we're just going to make it slightly softer at the front. The engineers are doing their wizardry stuff. The guys at Vehicle Handling Solutions Limited, who are doing the work on this MG, they also do work on other MGs, so all the old MGs plus the new MG3 and the petrol ZS, and I think the MG6 as well, and probably the MG5 when it arrives later this year. But in the meantime, they're working on the MG ZS EV with me. My car is the test mule, as I've talked about in the past. They're having a new set of dampers made up, and when they're ready, they will come and just swap the dampers out at the front, and then we'll take it for another test drive. At that point in time, I'll be back driving the car, so I can then put another couple of thousand miles on the car just to test it before we're able to advertise them for sale. So that's where we are with the suspension. That should be good. That should make it even better. I mean, it's really good now. Even on the potholes in London, it's better than standard, but on certain surfaces it's just a little bit harsher than standard suspension, so hopefully they'll be able to get it back to that more compliantness that there was with the standard suspension, but have the tautness. And bearing in mind that the dampers are all monotube, which is what you get on high-end sports and prestige cars, not generally on a humdrum cheap as chips car like the MG, and so it will transform the handling of the car. I mean, it has already, but I'm hopeful that this new update will make a big difference. That's all for now. I will speak to you again soon. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.